Hello, and welcome to the sixth and last presentation of Touch of Life's International Fight in Human Trafficking virtual series. We're thrilled to conclude by presenting all the various features that make up modern-day slavery and how you can combat it using your current resources within your community. My name is Rushal, and I'm a board member. I'm also joined by two of Touch of Life's board members too.
Hi, my name is Avni, and I am also a board member for the Touch of Life Foundation.
Hello, everyone. My name is Medna, and I'm the president and co-founder of the Touch of Life Foundation.
In this presentation, we will be discussing how the life of human trafficking or forced labor survivors appears and its influence on different aspects in society, in addition to themselves. The information statistics manifested in this presentation may be a little different from the previous topics due to obscurity. However, like all presentations, there will be a quiz and a unique project assignment at the end. Hence, let us begin on life after human trafficking.
Mentioned in the previous slide, the obscure aspect of life after human trafficking is its concealment to the public in general. There is slim to none verifiable information online conveying how life is for a victim after being trafficked and enduring physical and psychological trauma. This includes a lack of insightful statistics, factual evidence, and research. The greatest mystery is what happens to an individual after they stop being exploited.
In social norms, it is primarily acceptable worldwide that a victim ends their journey of slavery after becoming rescued and entering the rehabilitation process to a complex route of recovery. However, the quality impact of rehab on a survivor may indicate how a survivor resided their life afterward, disregarding what a recovered survivor may unknowingly experience later in life and its effect on sociology. Consequently, the next step would be enabling a victim to gradually re enter and integrate back into society with close monitoring and assistance.
Transferring a survivor from exploitation to gradually becoming familiar and comfortable with everyday life is undoubtedly an everlasting challenge. Though the rehab process mainly targets in recovering and attempting to heal a victim's mentally deteriorated condition, the victim themselves must trek outside their comfort zone and seek professional help in what they believe what they need. In fact, some survivors may not have been identified as victims and consequently are misread in not needing rehab.
In other words, survivors may need to self-diagnose themselves, and even after rehab, must practice self-care in the ways of daily mindfulness, taking their time, managing their emotions and racing thoughts. From a different perspective, the government may also become involved in stabilizing a victim, but for their societal situation. Through pushing legislation and foreign policy among nations, there is a great list of services, compensation, and benefits for victims. Within the United States, different departments specializing in agriculture, housing and urban development, justice, or education combine efforts to set up victims for prosperity. These free or discounted services include shelter, relative reconnection, educational tuition, mental health clinics, job assistance, and more.
There is also state assistance for pre certified and foreign victims in the United States. Pre certified refers to neither U.S. citizens nor lawful permanent residents, known as foreign victims, but rather who have not yet been certified in accessing the same federally funded benefits and services as refugees. Contrary, foreign traffic victims certified by the Department of Human Health Services, HHS, may receive a T visa that allows them to remain within the U.S. for 4 years for successful recovery and re entry into society. For more information on American services available to victims of human trafficking, a resource guide will be attached on the Topic 6 module in the Google Classroom.
Previously stated, rehab targets to improve a victim's mentality. However, they may be left with permanent scars by exploitation for the rest of their lifetime. Victims may experience complex trauma as a result of repeated cases of intimate relation trauma over long periods of time, including but not limited to sexual abuse, domestic violence, forced prostitution, or gang rape. Complex trauma involves multi-phased conditions of self-hatred, dissociation, substance abuse, self destructive behaviors, medical or re victimization. Psychology researchers report that although similar to PTSD, complex trauma is more expansive in diagnosis because of the effects of prolonged trauma.
Victims of sex trafficking, perceived materialistically, often get branded by their traffickers or pimps. These tattoos usually consist of barcodes, the trafficker's name, or rules. Despite if a victim escapes, these tattoos are painful reminders of their past and result in emotional distress. Removal or cover up of these tattoos can cost hundreds of dollars. Psychological reviews have shown that the chronic stress experienced by many victims of trafficking can compromise the immune system. Hence, victims may more often develop STDs such as HIV or AIDS.
Perpetrators frequently use substance abuse as a mean to control their victims, leading to compromised health, self destructive behavior, and long term physical harm. Furthermore, victims have reported treatment similar to torture, where their bodies are broken and beaten into submission. Stockholm Syndrome is when a manipulated victim develops positive or romantic feelings for their captor. This is more common among girls and can significantly hinder their recovery process.
Through research of patterns regarding social behavior, interaction, and responses, human trafficking victims are unconsciously compared to the circumstances of refugees and even parolees, former prisoners released early. But the main contradiction between victims and parolees is that one is deliberately decided to commit a crime knowing the consequences of residing in crisis, while the other has not. In fact, studies have revealed that in many Western nations, especially in the United States, have been more lenient regarding the benefits and assistance versus exploited victims.
Another instance in sociology is moral panic within the public, widespread irrational fear resulting from an immoral culprit threatening a community's values, interests, or well-being. This obscure feature is best exemplified in large advertisements, which aim to advocate to the public. However, some may exaggerate the true extent of human trafficking and promote the public to have a deceiving outlook on this exploitation pandemic.
Now that we have gone over the life after trafficking, please scan the QR code displayed on the screen to take a 10-question quiz to reflect the knowledge you have learned. Keep in mind that your scores and responses will be recorded.
Government authority and legislation has undoubtedly played a crucial role in allowing a safe and solid victim transfer back into society, primarily by delivering specific considerations or compensation, including educational or job assistance and discounted housing.
For this topic's assignment, analyze a specific way you would add or revise how the government may intercept a benefit to benefit a survivor's welfare. This can include altering a law or bill within your country's parliament to provide better assistance to victims. Ask yourself, if I can send a letter to my local council, what intent or information would I provide to better the system of a survivor re-entering society? This revision may be as small as increasing housing assistance for victims based on age or supporting greater financial aid for victims who wish to pursue higher education.
The revision may be as complex or as brief as you desire, but it must be specific in solving a particular problem. Please write what you would change or add to how the government assists victims re entering society, your explanation behind it, and what you would title this revision.
Thank you all for joining us regarding our last topic of this virtual volunteer series. Once you have submitted what you believe is your best work, ensure project assignments for topics 1 to 5 are all submitted.
If all projects are submitted and you have taken all 6 quizzes, please fill out the completion and feedback forms to mark your official execution of this program. Thank you for your time and service in manifesting the human rights movement.
Again, we appreciate all of your hard work and dedication throughout this virtual volunteer series. For any questions or comments, please do not hesitate to reach out. Your certificate of completion forms will be sent to you within a week after completing this series. Thank you again, and don't forget to keep up your activism journey.